Hello and welcome into the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. I'm Asher Salisbury. Hewitt Moyer joins me and the rest of our Strive crew. We have a decent-sized crew tonight here for a good matchup between your Kearney High School Bearcats, ninth ranked team in the state, 10th in power points, versus the visiting team, Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks. Made the 2-hour drive down to Kearney, but they're coming in at 13-6 record. They're the 13th in PowerPoint standings and 13th in the state. Dare I say a barn burner, Hewitt?
Yeah, two great teams coming to this matchup. Southwest struggled earlier in the season, but they've really come on hot later in the year. Some big wins down the stretch, and they're going to look to make it a contest tonight.
They are going to try and look to get it done inside, as they're averaging 60% from the field, 25% from behind the three-point arc, which is one of the lowest shooting percentages in all of Class A.
Don't shoot it great from beyond the arc, so look for them to get inside, use their size, and try to attack the Bearcats in the paint.
They are very tall. They have two guys standing at a tall 6'6", which me and Hewitt, if you've listened to Strive before, we have a running joke. We're 6'4". We are not 6'4". We're 6 foot. So they're tall.
Yeah.
As we're getting ready for starting lineups, but first we're going to do the national anthem. So we're going to cut our mics, keep the cameras rolling. We're going to change the camera angle so you don't see us, and then we'll be back right after this. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. As we welcome you back into the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. We're up here in the concourse of the Kearney High Gymnasium as we're getting ready for opening tip-off here in Kearney. But Hewitt, you want to announce starters?
Yeah, let's go through the starters of Lincoln Southwest first. We have Mari Shoemaker, Uzziah Sanders, Carter Chamberlain, Jackson Cruz, and Brandon Fragger.
Watch out for him. He's averaging 16.9 points per game, 6.8 rebounds. Then Bradford off the bench, he's averaging 12.6. And then Jackson Cruz rounding out that trio with 7.8 and then averaging 2.8 rebounds a game.
Jackson Cruz, that sounds a little familiar.
It does, because we are on the golf team. You're wearing the golf polo, or the quarter zip.
as we get set here for the Kearney High Bearcats starters to take the floor. The Bearcat starters have remained the same. We have number 0, Carter Lee. Number 2, Colt Straka. Number 3, Jacob Weber. Number 11, Asher Endorf. And number 44, Ben Johnson.
This is a big matchup for the Bearcats. Ben Johnson, Jacob Weber, Asher Endorf, that trio, 18.7 points per game for Ben Johnson, 17.9 for Jacob Weber, and Asher Endorf with 15. Watch out for that trio, and then watch out for the duo of Colt Straka, Carter Lee in the front court.
Yeah, one of the most dangerous front courts. I really think they're one of the most underrated ones in Class A, too. Great at getting steals, great hustle. I mean, Carter Lee, a collegiate football player, he just signed with Fort Hays State University. And Colt Straka, really the last couple games, he's been playing with heart, playing with hustle, and that's what you want to see out of your senior captain.
One thing that is a disadvantage for the Bearcats is that short bench rotations. All season we've seen maybe Ian Piper, Jacob Hansen check into the game, maybe even the occasional Turner Bertrand. But other than that, nobody has even scraped minutes for the Bearcats.
Not in actual minutes, maybe some garbage time from here or there, but Veronic runs a tight ship. He's going to play his starters, going to play who has the hot hand. So look for these starters to play a lot of minutes tonight.
Indeed, especially with a must-win matchup if the Bearcats want to try and try and get into the top 7 for districts, host both district games.
They're going to need some help. A loss to Papio South last Saturday, a tough one. It's going to make it a little bit tougher. So for what I believe, the Bearcats need to win tonight against Lincoln Southwest. And if Creighton Prep loses one of their next 2 matchups against either Creighton Prep or against either Millard North or Omaha North, that the Bearcats will move to the A7 district.
The Bearcats do need a little bit of help.
Just a little bit. But they can control what they can control, and that's a win tonight, as Ben Johnson's going to be set to tip here against Fragger. And we are underway here in Kearney as the Southwest Silverhawks win the tip.
Wearing those gray alternate uniforms, those are looking good.
Looking sharp as Chamberlain gets it now. Silverhawks running that perimeter as Fragger looks to elevate and he scores. The Silverhawks draw first blood.
Nice lefty fadeaway from Brandon Frager.
As Johnson looks to drive, gets it to Lee, back to Weber. Weber back over to Lee, directing traffic as Straka looks to drive, stops, and he's looking for help now. Straka's still in trouble, and that's going to be five seconds, and it's going to be Silverhawk ball.
Not a good way to start if you're the Bearcats. A 5-second call to turn it over here early.
No, Straka just kind of got a little bit trapped there, couldn't find it as the Silverhawks look to push pace. As they slow it back down now, Shoemaker with the ball, gets to Frager. Frager, step back 3. That is off the mark as Johnson gets the rebound. Ben Johnson brings it up the court for the Bearcats. Gets it over to Weber. Weber on the drive, spins, picks up his dribble, back to Johnson. Johnson to Lee. Lee resets the offense at the logo. Endorf over to Johnson now. Back to Lee, and Lee's going to get fouled. That's going to be Sanders, his first.
First foul of the game. First foul on the Silverhawks. Remember, new high school rules. At 5 fouls, team will go into the double bonus, shoot 2 free throws until the quarter, and then fouls do reset.
Yep. No more 1-and-1s. As
I'm still sad about that.
Yeah. As Johnson's got it now. Looks for the 3. Good defense. As Endorf's got it now. Underneath pass to Straka, and he gets it in. Colt Straka scores first for the Bearcats.
Nice little reverse layup by Straka, but Sanders answers right back.
That's Shoemaker. As Straka looking to drive in, and he can't find it, but rebounded by Endorf. Endorf goes up, elevates, and he puts it in for 2. We're tied at 4. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Frager with it now. Back over to Cruz. In the corner, that's going to be no good for Shoemaker. Rebounded by Johnson. Ben drives it, loses the handle, but he is fouled. And the Silverhawk bench not happy with the call, but that's going to be Frager's first call.
2 quick fouls here. First quarter action in Kearney.
Gets it to Johnson now. Endorf's got it at the top of the key. Drops it off for Weber. Weber, mid-range. And Jacob Weber, the mid-range specialist. One of the best shooters on the Bearcats roster as he knocks it down. It's good to see him getting hot early. As Shoemaker looks to run the point, gets it to Frager. Frager over to Sanders. Sanders to Cruz. Back to Shoemaker, inside to Frager, guarded by Endorf. Turnaround mid-range, that is off the mark. And Weber's got it now. Weber driving, and he is fouled on the floor. That is not going to count. Crowd wanted it to be an and one, but I think a good call there to be on the floor. And that is the Silverhawks' third foul. We're just under 5 minutes left to play. As Lee will inbound it to Johnson. Johnson looking to drive in on Frager. Set back fadeaway, and he gets it. That's 2 for Ben Johnson now.
Bearcats are starting hot.
Scoring quick are the Bearcats. Straka gets tripped up a little bit. Sanders on the drive, and it is blocked away, denied by Weber. But Lee throws it away. Sanders gets the and one. Sanders elevated, puts it up, and draws the foul. That's going to be Weber's first. Eight to 6, Bearcats lead, 4:32. And Sanders rattles it home. Silverhawks applying some pressure now. Lee trying to drive through Sanders. And Lee loses the handle there. As Shoemaker, behind the back pass, yes sir, to Frager.
Speaking of Frager, I just got told by our advisor, Mr. Robert Goff, that he is a UNL recruit graduating at the end of this year. He's a junior, graduating at the end of his junior year to go play at UNL.
A great player. As Ben Johnson elevates and gets it in for 10-9. Look for the Silverhawks to lean on Frager. As he elevates off the glass, no good. Johnson with the rebound. Johnson driving, behind the back. What a pass! And the finger roll is good! Oh my goodness! What a play by Endorf!
The playmaking ability of Ben Johnson.
Opened it up there for Endorf. And that's going to be a travel. That crowd, the home crowd heating up here. Good turnout for the Rowdies in this must-win matchup for the Bearcats. And there's going to be a timeout on the floor. We're going to take a timeout here too. Bearcats lead 12-9. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. And welcome back to the Kearney High School. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. The Bearcats lead the Southwest Silverhawks 12-9. 3:27 remaining in this opening period. Asher, it's been a quick start.
Indeed it has. Been back and forth, a couple highlight plays too.
As the Bearcats have the ball now. Gets it up inside to Asher Endorf. And he elevates for 2. The Bearcats attacking the paint as the Silverhawks look to respond. As Cruz elevates and rattles around, it's no good, and it's gonna be Bearcat basketball. Jackson Carpenter subs in for the Silverhawks, along with BJ Bradford. Lee gets it to Endorf, over to Johnson. Johnson working on Cruz, thought about the mid-range, puts it over to Weber. Weber off the front iron. And Straka trying to save it, he does! Johnson drives in on 2 defenders, and that's gonna be no good, but he draws the foul. Is that gonna be on the floor? No, it's gonna be a shooting foul.
As that is Southwest's 4th foul of the quarter. 2 minutes 40 to play, one more foul, and the Bearcats are shooting the rest of the way.
Yeah, early 4 fouls for the Silverhawks as Johnson knocks down the first, make it 15-9. And that one bounces in and out, a rarity for the junior, as that is Shoemaker in the corner, and he gets it over to Carpenter, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on 11. To be Asher Endorf, his first personal. He is the Bearcats' leading scorer at 6. Shoemaker to inbound. Get it to Carpenter, over to Cruz. Cruz drives in on Endorf, and that ball is no good. Johnson brings it up the court for the Bearcats now. Johnson looking over to Weber. Weber, oh, thought about the deep 3. He's got the range. Over to Johnson. Johnson pulls the 3, off the mark. But Straka with another offensive rebound. Colt Straka gets it over to Endorf, and Endorf is off the mark on that layup. But there he is, Colt Straka playing with that heart as Cruz gets the corner 3 to go. Jackson Cruz. 15-12, Bearcat lead.
The second chance efforts by Straka are proving vital here in the opening quarter in Kearney.
Yeah, Straka leaving it all out on the floor on the senior night as it pops up in the air. Weber with a turnaround jumper, no good. Bounces around, and open layup for Cruz. 15-14 now. Close first quarter.
Southwest on a little bit of a run.
Yeah, Bearcats had a lot of momentum going into the timeout as Johnson thought about a 3, decides not to take it. Back over to Endorf, back to Johnson. Johnson to Straka. Straka on the drive, and he doesn't get it to go. Thought there was a foul, no foul called. As Frager looking to drive in, and he puts it in. And the Silverhawks, just like that, take the lead, 16-15. And Weber responds.
Back and forth battle here early.
Neither team giving an inch. As Shoemaker looks to drive on Weber. Spinning, and it is blocked away. And that's gonna be Bearcat basketball. The 5'11" Shoemaker trying to drive in on Jacob Weber, 6'5", kind of a mismatch there.
Just a little bit.
Lee will take it up the court now. Gets it to Johnson now. Johnson looking to Coach Beranek for directions. Back to Lee. Now Weber has it, the logo.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Yep. Game clock at 15 now. Looking to hold it. Gets it over to Lee. Over to Straka. And Ben Johnson! They're not toys, they're figurines! Ben Johnson with the two-handed slam!
I don't know if anybody saw that. He moved the backboard. The backboard went to the left. They have to take a timeout to maybe check on the backboard.
Yeah.
Here, we have a replay right on your screen now. Look, it does move. It moves.
Yeah, he about.
It does move.
Moves that. The net got messed up.
But they are going to put 5.7 back on the clock.
Definitely time to do something as Piper and Hanson check into the game. Southwest trying to go fast, and that's going to be a blocking foul with .1 remaining.
Technically, if I've watched SportsCenter enough, technically .1 is not long enough for you to get a shot off. You just have to tap it.
I think you're correct. You just have. I think really anything under a second has to be a tip.
Maybe. .4 is about the lowest you can go.
Yep. As BJ Bradford is off the mark on the first. And he rattles it home, and this will do it for the first quarter of play. Your Kearney High Bearcats lead the Southwest Silverhawks 19-17. We'll take a break here. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Welcome back to the Kearney High School, home of the Bearcat.
As now it's on us, home of the Bearcats. Continue.
You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Bearcats lead a close one here, 19-17 against the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks.
It's been a game of back and forth shooting. A lot of fast break points for both teams.
Yeah, neither team willing to give an inch right now as the Bearcats have it out of the break. Lee has it at the top of the key. Gets it over to Endorf. Endorf looking to drive, kicks it back out to Johnson. Johnson to Straka to Lee. Lee in the corner, back to Johnson. And no, over and back. Weber saves it. And what a move by Ben Johnson, the junior.
Oh my goodness. He has had 3 or 4 highlight plays already, and we're only into the second quarter.
Ben Johnson wants that #1 seed in districts. As the Silverhawks look to respond, that's Chamberlain with the ball now. Gets it over to Cruz. Cruz from the mid-range. He's got it, knocks it down from the free throw line. 21-19. Lee to Johnson. Johnson back over to Lee, to Endorf in the corner. Endorf spinning, looking back door to Straka, and Straka behind the back puts it in, up and under for 2. 23-19. Fireworks here early in the second quarter as the Silverhawks look to make something happen. Shoemaker driving in, kicks it back out, and that's Chamberlain from 3. No good, and Ben comes down with another rebound. Asher elevates the jump stop and count it for 2. 25-19.
Bearcats on a run here at the start of the second quarter.
It has been all Bearcats this second quarter, and that is a turnover by the Silverhawks. As we got a stoppage in play here. It'll be Bearcat basketball.
As I don't know what we're waiting for. Talking with the scorer's table. Now we're ready for play.
As Lee will take the inbound. Been the trusty point guard all year. Endorf to Johnson. Johnson thought about the 3, backs off now. Picks up his dribble over to Endorf. Endorf drives into Weber for 3 in the corner, and it's off the mark. But another offensive rebound by Straka. That's 3 on the night. Weber looks to drive, loses the handle on it, regains it. Double team on Weber. They tip it away, but he gets it back. Back to Straka. Straka to Endorf. To Johnson in the corner, picks up his dribble. 17 to shoot now for the Bearcats. Johnson thought about the 3, picks it up from the mid-range, and he gets it. Ben Johnson, 11 points as Chamberlain puts up the 3, and that is off the mark, rebounded by Straka.
Straka's playing like his life depends on it, but I don't blame him here in senior night.
No, putting on a show for the home fans. We're gonna take a quick break here again with the timeout. Bearcats lead 27-19. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Welcome back to Kearney High. You are watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. A lot of fireworks here in this second quarter.
Game of runs in this second quarter. Now the Bearcats find themselves up 8.
27-19, 5:14 left to play in the first half. And this is the kind of energy the Bearcats play with quite a bit. A team coached by head coach Drake Baranek brings the energy, a great atmosphere, and this is what the fans wanted to see.
As it will be the Bearcats' ball.
Lee gets it over to Johnson. Johnson to Weber. Lee with it now, back to Weber. Weber puts up a contested 3, and it rattles home! Jacob Weber for 3. The threes really haven't come a whole lot for the Bearcats, but
Weber's got 7 on the night.
Rowdy's making some noise now as Straka got a little bit tangled up, and they're going to call a jump ball. It's going to remain with the Silverhawks, but Colt Straka, again, playing like his life depends on it. And I mean,
he's got those hustle plays.
Yeah, he wants the 1 seed.
Colt Straka has ice in his veins.
That's it, he had it written down.
I didn't write that down in my notes.
He's been playing like it the last few contests, as it will be the Silverhawks to inbound the ball. Frager has it in the corner, looking to work on Endorf, and he, with the left hand, puts it in.
Nice little hook shot.
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
As Weber, that will be off the mark, rebounded by Frager.
Weber kind of forced it up a little bit.
Behind the back, oh, and the one-handed damn by Frager. Oh my goodness.
He's got 10 on the night for the Silverhawks.
And Endorf bounces around and he gets it to go. I feel like almost the Silverhawks scored that one.
It was batted around. I don't really know who kind of got it, as they're going to call an offensive foul on 23.
That's Jackson Cruz.
That's his second. First of the quarter for the Silverhawks, complete opposite of last quarter.
Yeah, Bearcats lead by 9. Lee has it now. Driving in, falls down, and they're going to call a travel. Kind of lost his footing there. I think it's a good call. Carter Lee, maybe he doesn't score a lot. Maybe he's not the flashiest, but he gets the job done. I mean, he's been a great
That's
point
what you
guard.
need in your point guard.
Yeah.
Though. He has that pass-first mentality.
No, very, very selfless player and plays with some heart, plays with some hustle, and some physicality. As Frager puts up the off-balance three, rebounded by Straka. Straka to Johnson. Johnson loses the handle, and that's going to be a kickball violation. And we got a little bit of conference going on with the Southwest coach. That is Coach Alex Baugh. I think that's how you say his name. Lahe.
Alex Baugh.
Alex Baugh. And it's going to be Bearcat basketball. I had a feeling that Brandon Frager was going to do something crazy. Maybe
throw
a
down
dunk.
a slam.
Yeah. As Bearcats have it now. Gets it to Endorf to Lee. Lee inside to Johnson. That's tipped away. Resets it now. Weber now has it. And the up and under. The Euro step. Jacob Weber showing that he's not just three-pointers.
Bearcats are starting to pull away, though. Up 11 now, 3:09 second quarter action here in Kearney.
A little bit of unexpected. I mean, this Bearcat team could play with anybody in the state, but, I mean...
When the Bearcats are playing well, they can play, once again, they can play with anybody in the state.
Yeah.
But when they are not playing well, they could lose to almost anybody in the state. That is the fun of Class A basketball, though.
Been a lot of competitiveness as Frager knocks down another one.
He's got 12.
It's been a battle here between Frager and Johnson, but Bearcats doing a good job getting it around to everybody. Weber has it now. The turnaround. Oh, what a play by Weber.
Oh, my goodness. He can't
and
miss.
Oh, and it is saved by Lee. Johnson has it now, gets it to Straka. Straka, and he's fouled. Carter Lee. That was incredible. That ball should have been way out of bounds.
As Carter Lee looks a little shaken up, though, as he dove right into the front row.
Yeah. Get some water as Straukas is off the mark. Going to be a sub coming in for the Silverhawks. Cruz will come back in for Chamberlain. Starters still on the floor for the Bearcats.
Very few subs for the Bearcats. They had Ian Piper and Hanson come in towards the end of that first quarter.
Strock will knock down his second. But yeah, I think it was almost to avoid getting a cheap foul on one of the starters. As Silverhawks have it now. Bradford puts up a three. That's not going to be good. As Johnson comes down with the rebound. Gets it to Straka in traffic. Straka, nearly a travel, but able to get it to Endorf. Johnson has it now. Back to Endorf. Endorf thought about the three. Decides not to take it. Swatted away by Bradford. Ben ends up coming up with it. Weber for three. Bang! Jacob Weber for three.
As that's a timeout on the court. We're going to take that timeout as well. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
And welcome back to Kearney High School. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network.
As we're still at commercial, we're going back.
Yeah.
Now here we are.
We're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
15-point lead in favor of your Bearcats.
1:51 left to play, and it has been all Cats here in the opening half.
Especially that second quarter.
Yeah, this has been just incredible showing.
As now it'll be Shoemaker to get the ball back going. 1:45 here right before halftime.
Gets it to Bradford now. Cruz over to Shoemaker. Shoemaker. And oh, the ref almost just got nailed. Or
He did get nailed.
He did get nailed. Oh,
right to the face.
Dangerous job out there on the floor.
Doesn't look too badly injured.
Taking one to the dome.
Might need concussion
protocol.
Yeah,
As
test him.
Bradford knocks it down in the corner. And he stares down Lee.
Rivalry here early.
We'll see what Carter Lee does to respond. As he is in some trouble, gets it to Johnson. Johnson looking to go to work, and he knocks it down from the mid-range on Braden Frager.
He's got 13 on the night for the Bearcats as that's up and in by Bradford.
Bradford going to work against Lee.
Bradford starting to heat up as we tick below 1 minute before halftime.
That is one thing Coach Baugh said to me in the pregame. Look for him to get quite a bit of minutes off the bench.
He is their second leading scorer, averaging 12.6.
As that ball got tipped out of bounds. Lead inbound for the Bearcats, leading 42-30. 40 seconds left to play here in the first half. Weber has it now over to Johnson. Johnson surveys. Gets it to Weber. Weber, he puts up the three. Bang! Jacob Weber! Another triple!
He's got 17 points on the night as shot clock will go dark 20 seconds before halftime. Bearcats in a commanding lead.
Rowdy's making some noise now as Shoemaker, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Carter Lee.
They did call it on Carter Lee. That'll be his second. Bearcats getting into a little, not a lot of foul trouble, but a little bit of foul trouble.
Just a little bit, but have played a pretty clean game. Just a lot of starters with one. 13 seconds to shoot. As that's going to be another foul. That was Sanders elevating, and that's going to be on Endorf, his second. Sanders will go to the line to shoot two.
Second personal foul, team's third.
Sanders is no good.
As Southwest, they only have 5 players in the scoring column.
It's been all Braden Frager early for them.
The UNL commit, graduating at the end of your junior year.
That's pretty incredible.
That's very rare. That means you're smart and you get classes done.
Yeah. As Johnson comes down at the rebound. 5 seconds to go. Johnson, deep three. And it is just off the mark. Ben Johnson. Bearcats lead the Southwest Silverhawks 45-30 at the end of the first half. You're watching the Bearcats Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
But we have a little replay package as there's that backdoor cut by Straka. Then the Asher Endorf little stop, then up. And then the Jacob Weber 3-ball. We're going to see a lot of those highlights tonight. And then the Endorf, that one, I don't think Endorf quite shot that.
No.
It was more of just a tip, but when it goes in, and you still get the points for another 3-ball by Weber. Then the Ben Johnson fade away. And then the Weber deep 3-ball. That's cash money. That's what you call a swish. As you're watching the Bearcats Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, 45-30 game in favor of your Bearcats. We'll be back right after halftime. Hello and welcome back to the Bearcats Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. I'm Asher Salisbury. Hewitt Moyer joins me. We've done a lot of calls together actually this season. I got you into announcing.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun this season, so.
You're taking over.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'll say the rest of our Strive crew, but I will say you did call this game like 2 weeks in advance.
So.
But Hewitt, what are you seeing? Halftime adjustments, try and get the Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest back into this game.
Yeah, I think you just have to slow down the Bearcats offense. And I mean, the Bearcats, they've got their fair share of three-pointers, but really it's been the mid-range and it's been the offensive rebounds and it's been getting in the paint that has been the bulk of this Bearcats points. And I mean, if the Silverhawks want to stay in this game, they're going to have to slow that down. I mean, the Bearcats are on pace to score 90.
I would 100% agree. Another thing that the Silverhawks need to do is they need to get on the boards. They have next to none offensive rebounds and then a little bit more defensive rebounds. They need to get on the boards, stop letting the Bearcats have these second chance points.
I mean, Colt Straka for the Bearcats has just been dominating the rebounds. I feel like he has more offensive rebounds than the entire Southwest team, to be honest. It's really been a battle of the boards.
And then also, they need to try and get that outside shooting hot. They are 1 for 8 from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, the Silverhawks, they need to get something going here as the Bearcats have just pulled away, especially in that second quarter.
Plus, it wouldn't hurt to start, I guess, trying to get inside. Use the height that you have. You have 2 6'6" guys.
Yeah, and even though like their guards are a little bit undersized, I mean, Shoemaker only at 5'11" and Sanders only at a 5'8". They're shifty, they're fast, and they've showed that. And I mean, even Bradford off the bench, 5'11", and he's been going to work against Carter Lee. You got to use the size advantage inside, and you got to use the shiftiness of your guards to try to get down and get yourself in a position to score on those fast breaks.
Try and find the perfect balance between all post play and all three-point shooting.
Yeah, just find the happy medium like the Bearcats have had in that first quarter.
But then on the note of the Bearcats, what have they done well? What has kept Southwest at a distant deficit?
I mean, what haven't they done well should be a better question. I mean, they've shot well, they've rebounded well, they're getting everybody involved. I mean, they're playing discipline on defense, they're getting their rebounds, they're boxing out. I mean, they've done everything.
100%. As I have a quick question, Hewitt, you take it over.
All righty, it is the Carter Lee will take it up the court for the Bearcats, leading by 15. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson underneath for Endorf. And Endorf scores early, 47-30.
That's a good start for the Bearcats, and I just found out that Jacob Weber needs 3 balls to break the school record, 2 to tie for three-pointers made in a season.
You're one to know about school records. You gotta have a few yourself.
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. Won't go into detail.
As Frager will go to the line. Jacob Weber actually does have the school record for the most three-pointers in a game.
With 9. As Frager gets the lucky bounce to go his way.
That will be the Silverhawks' first points of the half. He actually set the record twice this year, as Frager will knock down his second.
We commentated the game that he hit. 9.
I think both those games were away.
No, one of them was home. It was against, oh goodness. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Let me pull up Max Preps.
I believe it was away against
It was at
North.
Lincoln High.
Yes, that
Lincoln
was
High, and then something else. But back to the action. I'll do my research.
Alrighty. As Lee, long pass to Straka. Gets it inside to Endorf. Endorf going to work, and he will get it to go. 49-32. Asher Endorf coming alive here. He's got 14. And that ball is no good for Cruz, as it will be rebounded by Straka. Gets it to Johnson. Pull up 3. And that is just off the mark. As Silverhawks looking to push pace. That is Shoemaker with it now. Gets it to Cruz. Cruz over to Sanders. Sanders And that's Chamberlain, and he puts it in.
His first bucket of the night.
Trying to hang in this game. As Johnson to Weber now. Weber, he puts up the 3, and that is off the mark.
I want to say it was against either Lincoln East or North Star.
Setback from Frager. That's no good.
Just ignore me, I guess.
Yeah, no. I still think it was Norfolk. I think it was Norfolk.
I didn't think it was Norfolk, but who knows?
We'll have to.
Might have even been Omaha Northwest before the Christmas break happened.
Check the Norfolk game. I think he had 9.
Let me look.
As Chamberlain will knock down his first free throw.
Oh, yeah, you were right. Darn it.
And that, and where was that game played?
Not here at Kearney.
As Chamberlain knocks it down his second. I believe he had 6 against North Star.
I was close.
You were close. As Johnson brings it up the court to Stracco, to Johnson, to Endorf. Swinging it around now. Lee with it. Johnson on the drive. Back to Endorf. Thought about the 3. Doesn't shoot a lot of them. And that's stolen away by Shoemaker. Trapped. Ball still on the ground. No one's got it. Chamberlain comes up with it. And he's trying to call for the timeout. And he does. Yeah, he
say yes. Timeout. Timeout in favor of Southwest, not Southeast, Southwest. 13-point lead in favor of the Bearcats, 49-36. I think we should just stay right here, Hewitt. We're just going to stay right here. It was only, it is a minute timeout.
We'll stay here.
We'll stay right here. We are 2 minutes and 15 seconds into. Hello and welcome back to the Bearcats Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. 2 minutes 15 down here, third quarter action in Kearney. Asher Salisbury, Hewitt Moyer on the call. He's been doing an excellent job as we have a little replay package.
This is, I believe, the ref getting nailed in the face.
It is the ref getting drilled. Oh, I didn't think that was going to be shown again, but I guess it is.
Oh, man, they showed that on the big screen here.
If only the ref saw it.
Taking a shot to the face as Shoemaker brings it up the court now for the Silverhawks.
Bearcats switch to a 2-3 zone.
Back to Shoemaker, over to Sanders. Gets it to Frager, and he hits a 3. Silverhawks trying to apply some pressure here. Down by 10. Johnson, and he is way off the mark there. He had the move, but just not able to finish. As Shoemaker kicks it over to Chamberlain. Cruz driving in the lane, and he knocks it down, and all of a sudden, this lead is within 10.
8. Math is math.
It's within
My
10.
catchphrase, math is math. Or math ain't mathing.
As that ball is going to stay with Kearney High. Silverhawks went on a little bit of a run there. They were down, what, 17? Now down by
15. 15.
Down by 15.
The timeout really helped, though. Now they're on a run.
Yeah. You say it. Basketball's a game of run, as Ben Johnson, a little bit of a quarterback pass there.
This is basketball, not football.
And that's going to be a foul there, I believe, on Shoemaker. Oh, nope, it's actually going to be on Uzziah Sanders.
That's his third foul of the contest.
A little bit of foul trouble for the Silverhawks. Bradford's going to sub in for Sanders.
As the Bearcats have the orders from head coach Drake Baronic. Shot clock does reset.
See what they decide to do here. 4:40 left in the third. 27 to shoot. Weber has it, the logo. Gets it over to Lee, back to Weber. Weber surveys the defense. Lee 15 to shoot now. Back to Weber. Weber looking to drive. Gets it over to Lee. Screen by Johnson. Lee trying to find someone. 3 to shoot as Weber.
Circus shot! Circus shot! Oh my goodness!
I kind of held my breath there as Weber puts it in at the shot clock buzzer as Cruz gets the corner 3 to go.
Still a circus shot by Jacob Weber. He was off balance, had his back to the hoop. Oh my goodness. You aren't the best shooter in Arizona for a reason. I think I've said that a couple of times too.
I think that's your catchphrase, yeah.
Nah. Barn burner and math ain't mathing.
As that ball is going to go out of bounds. I think there was a issue with the scoreboard. That it should be 51-44. Yep. Johnson gets it to Lee. The lead is 7 for the Bearcats. 3:40 left to play in the third quarter as Lee gets it to Johnson. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Weber.
As Weber not too happy with the call.
Oh, Rowdy's not happy with it either. They're saying a flop, but.
Good Rowdy section tonight.
Yeah.
Better than previous nights, I will say.
Better than previous nights, but not the best. And that's going to be a timeout. We'll stay right here with you guys. And I believe that is Bearcats calling timeout.
That was kind of funny. Did you hear? The PA announcer. The Bearcats with their first, third, second timeout. That's the second timeout of the quarter for the Bearcats. As it's only a 30-second timeout, we're going to stay right here.
How Silverhawks come out, scored 14 in this quarter to the Bearcats 6.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why have the Silverhawks? What adjustments have they made?
They're getting inside. They're getting inside the post, inside the paint, and they're just hitting those fadeaway shots. They weren't hitting those in the first quarter or first half.
I definitely think that's great analysis there.
Greatest color man in sports.
Absolutely.
Here I am. I don't do color very often, but it's a treat to color for you, Hewitt.
Thank you.
I'm flattering you, or whatever.
Whoa.
Valentine's Day was yesterday.
Oh my goodness. As Shoemaker brings it up the court. Frager over to Bradford. Bradford to Cruz. Back to Shoemaker. Frager elevates. Oh my goodness! Frager showing why he's going D1. He elevated. There was about 3 or 4 defenders around him, 2 in front of him, 1 to his side, and he just went up and drilled it and got the and 1.
As that was the third foul on Jacob Weber. Now things have gotten a little interesting here in quarter number 3. 5-point lead. And he can make it to 4, and he does. That's cash money right there. I haven't said that enough.
No. As Bearcats look all out of sorts right now. Need something here as Lee drives up the court, gets it to Endorf. Endorf inside to Weber, and that's going to be tipped out of bounds. It's going to remain Bearcat basketball. 51-47, 3:06 left to play in the third quarter.
Bearcats need a bucket.
As Weber in the corner. Jacob Weber!
Right as I said that, Hewitt.
Big time shot from a big time player. As Shoemaker looks to drive in. That's no good. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson looking to push pace. Gets it to Endorf. Endorf elevates. And 1! Asher Endorf!
Oh my goodness.
Just when the momentum seemed like it was tilting towards the Silverhawks, the Bearcats say, no, we want that number 1 seed. And Asher Endorf gets the and 1.
We got to control what we can control, Hewitt. Yeah. As that is up and no good. Rebounded by Chamberlain.
As Bradford has it now. Over to Cruz. Cruz inside to Frager. Frager. Tough shot. Not able to get it to go.
Straka comes up with the rebound. That's his 6th of the night.
A lot of rebounds by Straka. Johnson over to Lee now. Lee kicks it to Straka. Straka to Johnson. Thought about the 3. The floater in the lane, weaving through defenders. And all of a sudden, this 4-point lead has extended to 11.
Basketball is a game of runs. As the Bearcats, what is it, 7-0 run?
I think so.
I believe it is a 7-0 run, as that's going to go in and out by Frager.
They got the hoop cover on there. That ball was like halfway into the hoop. As Endorf has it now. Tried to pass to Johnson. And Frager's got it now. Straka defending and foul. Straka looks a little frustrated.
Not one of the smartest plays on Straka, because now he can make it a an and one, a 3-point play. Whereas, if anything, just give him the dunk, give him the highlight play, and then you come out with maybe a +1 difference.
And Coach Baranek was pretty unhappy there with Straka.
Still no sub, though, for the Bearcats in this half.
No, just rolling with the starters.
I guess.
They got it to Lee as Frager knocked it down. It's an 8-point game. Johnson with it at the top of the key. Gets it to Weber. Weber surveys, drives in, step back 3, and he is fouled. And that's going to be 3 free throws for the sophomore, number 3, Jacob Weber.
As that is Sanders. There's 2 Sanders on this team. That's his first foul. Different grade. No, same grade. Both sophomores.
As Weber will knock down the first. Yeah, a couple Sanders on the team. Got Uzziah and Malachi.
Only 4 seniors on this Silverhawks roster. As Weber will shoot 3?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Misses the.
I was too busy writing in the stats.
Misses the second. As here's our subs, Jacob Hansen and Ian Piper.
Coming in at the guard spot. As they're going to call a lane violation?
I think it was a
lane violation. They called a lane violation. Wow, you don't see that a lot on Jackson Carpenter up there right close to Ben Johnson.
Yeah, kind of a rarity as he's going to get a 4th free throw here.
Makes up for the miss with a make.
Yep. 60-50, 118 left to play. Silverhawks in the double bonus. As they get it over to Sanders. Sanders drives, gets it back out to Bradford. He puts up the corner 3, off the mark. Weber's got it now, gets it to Johnson. Under a minute now. Johnson behind the back, dribbles, gets it to Piper. Piper to Johnson. Slows it back down, 23 on the shot clock. Johnson at the volleyball line, gets it to Endorf. Endorf to Weber. Weber trying to go to work, and he puts it in, spinning. Jacob Weber doing it all here for the Bearcats.
He's got 26 on the night. Next closest is Asher Endorf with 16, and then Ben Johnson with 15. But Asher Endorf did just pick up his 3rd foul. Bearcats getting into a little bit of foul trouble.
It's not something you want to see if you're head coach Drake Baranek.
Especially with a short bench.
Yeah, as Straka and Lee look to sub back in. Frager's going to shoot 2 here, and he is off the mark on the first. Bearcats lead 62-50. And he knocks down the second. 62-51, our score here in Kearney.
Frager has 24.
2 crazy stat lines for Weber and Frager.
Career nights, I guess you could call them.
Yeah. As Johnson at the logo. Shot clock has gone dark. 20 to play in the 3rd period.
My saying.
That's Bridger's saying.
I guess.
We've just stole it. As Weber has it now. Lee at the logo. 7 gets it to Weber. Weber, 4 seconds. And that is stolen away. at the buzzer, and that will be B.J. Bradford cutting the lead within 10. Bearcats lead 62-53 going into the fourth quarter. And we'll keep it here.
9 point. Yes, right? 9?
Yeah, 9-point lead.
Math ain't math. A 9-point lead for the Bearcats as we have a little replay.
As
Football pass by Ben Johnson inside to Hesher Endorf. I must have missed that.
I think Ben did play football last
There's
year.
the little circus shot by Jacob Weber. And then the Jacob Weber 3-ball.
Weber's been doing it all here for the Bearcats.
And then the Asher Endorf and one that kind of got the momentum in Kearney's favor.
Yeah, most definitely. They needed that after the Silverhawks were storming back, but they did make up some ground out of halftime. Now a 9-point deficit. They cut the lead by 6.
Yes, they have. As we're getting ready for the resumption of play, fourth quarter action here in Kearney. Asher, Salisbury, Hewitt, Moyer, the rest of our Strive crew. We might even get to talk with our advisor maybe later on, maybe not. He's a little busy right now.
As the Bearcats will where'd the ball? Okay, Silverhawks on offense first.
As Weber is now 1 to tie the 3-point record, 2 to break.
As Silverhawks with it now. Gets it to Cruz. Cruz over to Sanders. Back to Shoemaker. Shoemaker from the mid-range, and that is off the mark. Weber with a rebound.
That's just Shoemaker's second shot of the night. He's been
And it's
quiet.
stolen away by Frager. Oh, the alley-oop. Yeah, I thought he was going to slam it, but Frager cuts the lead down, 62-55. Sanders is going to pick up a foul there, guarding Carter Lee.
Carter Lee.
Malachi Sanders, not Uzziah.
Will be Bearcats ball, 7:20 fourth quarter action.
Gets it to Endorf. Back over to Johnson. Johnson to Endorf inside, elevates, and it is just missing the mark, but he will go to the line shooting 2.
As that'll be a foul on Jackson Cruz. That's his third. They got 2 players on 3 and 2 players on 2. Getting into a little foul trouble. If things get a little interesting towards the end of the fourth quarter, might be shooting a lot of free throws.
For sure, as Endorf knocks down his first. Talk about free throw shooting. One of the better ones on this Kearney High team. As he knocks home the second.
He's got 18 on the night. 3 fouls, though.
Gonna be careful here if you're Endorf. As they get it to Shoemaker, drives in, kicks it back out to Sanders. Sanders looking on the drive, elevates, and it's rebounded by Weber.
Weber now is going to bring it up for the Bearcats. Over to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's going to drive, kick it back out to Lee. Has an open Straka, far side of the screen.
And he's gonna find Straka in the corner. Lee to Weber. Weber, wow! He was almost behind the basket there as he puts it in, extends the lead to 11 now.
He's got 28 on the night. Career shooting night for Jacob Weber. Can't seem to miss.
No. When he gets hot, and Chamberlain knocks down the 3.
His first 3-ball of the game.
As Johnson has it now. Crowd wanted a foul. Nothing called. Gets it to Endorf in the corner. Endorf to Weber. Back to Lee. Lee driving in, gets it to Endorf. Endorf thought about it, decides not to take it. Tipped up and around, and it's rebounded by Braden Frager.
Oh, the crowd went crazy because Asher Endorf got a little bit of an ankle breaker. Now Frager gets one himself, but nobody can answer.
Nobody can hit the shot. As Johnson dumps it off for Lee. Lee on the dribble drive and lost it. Bad pass there. Braden Frager pulls up from deep, and he's got it. Braden Frager.
He's done it all for the Silverhawks.
Silverhawks, yep. Lead. Bearcats lead by 5, 66-61, 5 minutes to play in the contest.
Bearcats have gotten a little sloppier here in this fourth quarter. A couple unforced turnovers, almost like that.
Yeah, just something that you don't want to see. And head coach Drake Bronick wants to talk about it. We'll go to break here. Bearcats lead 66-61. You're watching the Bearcats Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
Hello and welcome back to the Bearcats Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. 66-61 contest in favor of your Bearcats, but things are starting to get interesting here in Kearney.
As the Silverhawks have cut the halftime lead by 10.
Yes.
Trying to...
Math is hard.
It will be Bearcat basketball, 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Just under 5 minutes left in regulation. As
we're coming out of that timeout, I think that was more of a frustration timeout from head coach Drake Bronick, as Bearcats were a little sloppy as they drew up a play maybe in that timeout too.
Looked good as Johnson with a turnaround, mid-range jumper.
That might calm the nerves.
It's what you need if you're the Bearcats. Just keep scoring. Don't let them get quite back into the contest. As the Silverhawks look to answer, as Cruz drives in, kicks it back out. That's Shoemaker driving in, and they're going to call Straka for a foul.
Well, it's either Straka or Lee. That's Straka. That's his fourth. One more, and he's going to foul out.
And I think Piper's going to be subbing in for him.
Piper will get more minutes in this contest now because Straka is sitting on four fouls. Yes. But it is Shoemaker to shoot the free throw. He has been cold from the free throw line. 0 for 3 on the night.
Yeah, not great. It's free points. So that's why they call it the free throw. It wins basketball games along with the offensive rebounds.
From the charity stripe. But second one.
And
also no good.
Gets his own rebound. And he's going to go to the line again. And
maybe a little bit of redemption.
Yeah. And that is one thing you can't teach is hustle. And that was hustle right there.
The Bearcats might have been sleeping a little bit.
Yeah.
On that free throw.
As that one is true. 68-62 your score now.
First one of the night for Shoemaker.
As Hansen's going to sub in for Piper. Straka still on 4 fouls, Endorf at 3. See what Coach Bronick wants to do here. As the free throw is up, and it is off the mark as well.
I think Ben Johnson's like, I'm not letting him get a rebound again. I'm going and getting this ball. He stole that from Asher Endorf, but it works out. As now they're going to show a little bit of full court trap.
They get it to Lee. Lee underneath to Hansen, and Frager says, no, sir. Denied at the rim. Braden Frager putting this Silverhawk crew on his back. 29 points for the junior.
As it's Ben Johnson guarded by Frager. This is a matchup I'd like to see. Maybe a little one-on-one street ball.
And corner Lee for 3.
Big 3-ball from Carter Lee. That opens the scoring for him. First points of the night.
And Frager responds with a jumper, fell down. But yeah, first points on the contest for Lee. as Lee will bring it back up the court. Endorf with it now at the top of the key. Back to Johnson. Johnson brings it back around for Endorf. Inside to Weber. Turnaround jumper, and that's no good, but rebounded by Endorf. Steps into it, and he is fouled. And Weber is grasping at his leg. I think he's cramping. Playing a lot of minutes the last week. Has all of these starters.
A lot of minutes, especially with that short bench of the Bearcats with 3 players.
Yeah, a lot of minutes in that Southeast game, a lot of minutes in the Papio South game, and in this one too, and against Fremont.
Yeah.
So 71-64 your score, 3:22 remaining. As Weber's still
A little shaken up.
a little shaken up, but heads to the line now.
He's at that right leg. Rowdies are a little bit nervous, I guess you could say, because he's got 28 on the night.
Yeah, not someone you want to go down if you're a Bearcat fan.
As he will shoot 2. First one up and no good.
No good.
He's hobbling a little bit, maybe still not quite out of pain.
No, Baranek keeping him in the game, though. No subs looking for the Silver Hawks. And actually, was that a technical foul? Did we miss that? I believe it's going to be Bearcat basketball.
Or I don't think it'd be a technical. I think it'd be more so of an intentional.
Yeah, I think that's what they called it.
An intentional.
Foul.
So that means 2 shots plus the ball.
I was going to say, I didn't see the technical signal.
As I think Weber, as the Bearcats, they're going to play a little 4-on-4 now. Weber's just going to kind of hang back. But that gets it to fall for Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson extends the lead to 10. 74-64, 3 minutes left to play. Frager with the ball, pulls it up and from the mid-range, and he scores.
As Southwest, they were calling for an ISO. Frager versus Johnson.
33 points for the junior.
2:45 left. That was almost picked off, but that will be a foul.
And that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Sanders. And that's his 4th for number 4, Uzziah Sanders.
As Straka is going to check back in, sitting on 4 fouls.
I think at this point you got to let him play.
Let him play. If not, go to Ian Piper or Jacob Hansen.
Haven't gotten a whole lot of minutes in tonight. Starters on the floor for the Bearcats. Johnson with it now. Just around 2:30 left to play in regulation.
Run down the clock.
As Frager guarding Johnson. Johnson to Lee, guarded by Sanders. Gets it inside to Endorf, as Endorf takes a shot there. Crowd wanted a foul as Lee is off the mark. I think that was tipped. And Straka with another offensive rebound.
As the Bearcats, they want to hold. They have a fresh shot clock. As it gets back over to Lee, they're going to call a foul, though, as that will be their 5th foul. Bearcats are now shooting 2-2. Not 2-2. Oh, my goodness. 2-2.
You miss the 1-and-1 so much, don't you?
Oh, I do. But it will send Asher Endorf to the line. Foul was on Carter Chamberlain. That's his 2nd. As Southwest, they're starting to get into a little bit of foul trouble. 2 players in 3, and then 3 players on 2 fouls. And then a couple miscellaneous fouls here and there. But first one up and good by Endorf. This is where you can ice the game.
Yeah, this is free throws down the stretch, and we know Baranek has his players practice it every single day. Shooting those free throws as Endorf's off the mark, but leading by 9 as Frager, and that's going to be a 3-pointer, and all of a sudden the lead is 6. 75-69, 1:55 remaining. Johnson brings it up the court, gets it to Lee. Lee back inside to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Frager, turns, elevates, and it hits the bottom of the backboard.
This is where you got to put the ball in the hands of your free throw makers. as Chamberlain kicks it out to a wide open Sanders for three. Now it's a three-point game.
And this is a one-possession game. I don't think it's been a one-possession game since the first quarter.
It has not. The Bearcats have led for a majority of the way. Crowd is quiet. Momentum in favor of the Silverhawks.
As Lee gets it to Johnson. Cone three. Cone three from Ben Johnson.
Big three ball by Ben Johnson. We're going to stay right here as it's 78-72 in favor of your Bearcats as things are starting to get interesting here in Kearney.
The Silverhawks will not go away. Every time the Bearcats come out with a little bit of a run, think that you might have the game over, the Silverhawks fire right back, leaning on their junior leader, Brandon Frager, as that was a big shot by Ben Johnson from the corner. It's a glitch in the software.
Please describe that.
Never mind.
Nope, no. You said it, you have to describe it. Tell me.
It's a Family Guy reference.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
Oh, it's just a reference from the show. That's why I said Kona 3.
I guess. But we're at commercial right now. We're waiting for the resumption of play. As you can see our Pinnacle Bank ad. Thank you to our sponsors, Pinnacle Bank, sponsoring Bearcat Vision. Still haven't talked with our advisor, Mr. Goff.
Have not yet.
As now it will be Southwest ball. 6-point game, 109 left. This is where it gets interesting. It's turning into a real barn burner, Hewitt.
It has been a real barn burner coming down the stretch here.
Southwest just won't go away. They were down as much as 15 at halftime, and now it's a 6-point game. Been as close as a 3-point game with 1:30 left.
Yeah, as Shoemaker brings it up the court, gets it to Cruz. Cruz to Sanders. Gets it to Frager. Deep three. Yes, sir!
Oh, my goodness.
Braden Frager!
He can't miss right now.
He is hot.
As Bearcats need to get across the 10-second timeline, they will with a few seconds to spare. As Frager went for the steal, that's going to be his third.
Crowd wants an intentional foul there.
Brandon Frager has 39 points.
That was a tough foul. As
got to dry off the court. But now the Bearcats are in the double bonus. Bearcats have 2 fouls to give if needed.
And 42 seconds remaining.
It'll be Straka to shoot the free throws to try and make it a 2-possession game. It'll be Ben Johnson and Asher Endorf inside to try and get the rebound if is missed.
Yep.
Lee and Weber outside the 3-point arc as first one up and no good. Maybe Cole Straka doesn't have ice in his veins.
This could be interesting here. This is a big free throw for the young man.
Colt Straka on his senior night. Gets the second one to fall. That's a big, big free throw.
Big time play there.
As now they have Colt Straka guarding Brandon Frager, who's sitting on 4 fouls. Up and in, though, by Shoemaker.
And all of a sudden, it's a 2-point game. Shot clock has gone dark. Gets it to Lee. Full court press now for the Silverhawks. Johnson to Weber. Corner 3. Oh, my goodness. It's a glitch in the software. The corner 3.
And he broke the record. That was the record-breaking 3.
Was that the tie or record-breaking?
That was either the tie or the record-breaking 3 as Brandon Frager almost gets it to ball. They need to foul, but it's a 5-point game. They're going to call off the Dogs. No, they will not. They're going to foul. 4.1 left.
And a standing ovation from the crowd
for Jacob Weber and this Bearcat team. Jacob Weber's got 32 on the night compared to Brandon Frager's 39. Almost dropped 40.
Almost dropped 40. But
he still might, maybe a half-court heave. But it will be Ben Johnson to inbounds as Joel Bausch will check into the game. Joe Bausch is going to check into the game on senior night.
He's back. Joe Bausch,
Oh
and do
my.
a standing ovation. Joe Bausch.
We love Joe Bausch.
Everybody, the fan favorite.
As that one's up and good, Joe Bausch checks into his first game of his career on varsity. This senior, no?
No, he played last year. But
I'm saying for his senior year, though.
Yeah, for his senior year.
As Frager hits a little step back, no good. That will be
the game.
a 7-point victory in favor of your Kearney High Bearcats. As Hewitt, what a game.
That was an incredible game. They got close there towards the end. The Silverhawks definitely made it interesting, made it a game. Great play there.
As we have a little bit of a replay package, there was the behind the back, like no look pass from Ben Johnson, then the Ben Johnson, the almost posterized, I guess you could say. And then the Ben Johnson step back. Is this just a Ben Johnson highlight reel?
I mean, yeah, it was all Ben Johnson and Jacob Weber. And don't forget about the third playmaker, Asher Endorf.
100%. But the Bearcats are firing on all cylinders heading into district play. Now, all they can do is wait and hope. Try and watch a little bit of other Class A basketball. Try and get seed number 1 in districts, host both district games, use this crowd to their advantage, and try and make it to PBA.
They haven't been to PBA in a while, not at least when I've been here as a student. I believe the last time they've been to the state tournament was
7th grade.
2018.
7th grade.
Yep.
That was about, give or take. We were young.
Yeah.
6 years ago, we want to go back to PBA. But we have a little bit of a highlight reel. Then we're going to turn the camera over to us. We're going to have a little bit of a post-game show. Talk about this, talk about, I guess, districts, you could say, and maybe the outlook for the Bearcats with this win. But there's the Ben Johnson slam that nearly broke the backboard. As we're going to cut over to our camera right over here for a little bit of a post-game show. Here we're waiting as now it's going to cut over to us. Here we are, Asher, Salisbury, Hewitt, Moyer, rest of our Strive crew. What a game we had on our hands here. Real barn burner.
Yeah, came down to the end there. Some big-time plays by the Bearcats from Straka, Johnson, Weber. I mean, the whole crew tonight, the whole team, putting it on their back. Now you got to wait, see how the chips fall. Maybe you get to host a district as a number 1 seed. And
as of right now, though, with the Bearcats win, they have secured at least a 2 seed. So they will host the first game of districts. We don't know what district we'll be sitting in. As of right now, we're sitting in Omaha North District as a 2 seed, which would mean if we win, we have to go to Omaha North.
Yep. And a loss from Creighton Prep, I believe, will give us the A7 district, and we will play Creighton Prep at home.
Which would be a very good matchup. It'd be the 7-8 matchup in the state, PowerPoint ranking-wise.
And it helps for wild card as well, because there is that one wild card that goes to state too. If we get a 1 seed, it's a lot better chance.
Yeah, it goes to the highest seeded team that doesn't make it to state.
Yep. But we all know it'd be better just to get the automatic qualifier.
Just win and you're at
you're
PBA.
Yeah.
Basically, 2 wins and you're going to Lincoln, playing at PBA. It's win or go home.
Yeah.
Now as we enter the postseason side of the season, I guess that doesn't really make sense, but another quick thing before we cancel here real quick, before we are done for the night here in Kearney, Brandon Frager, 39 points.
39 points. And I mean, again, he's going to be a stud at UNL next year. Just a junior, going to have some years under, or probably going to play a little bit as a freshman, I would assume. So
looking at our stat sheet, though, Brandon Frager, I kept stats for Southwest. He missed 4 shots all night. 4, and he dropped 39 points. That is just peak athleticism.
That is incredible.
39 points, 4 missed shots, but that's not enough to get it done here in Kearney as Southwest. They're going to drop to 13-7 on the year, 5-4 on the road. And your Bearcats, they're going to move to 16-6, 8-2 at home, try and push for that number 1 seed in district play. But we're going to sign off here. I'm Asher Salisbury, joined here by
Hewitt Moyer.
and then the rest of our Strive crew. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. It's been one fun night here in Kearney, real barn burner. But until next time, district play coming up next week. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.